All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to my NFL pick segment. A little different positioning of the camera here. Um, it was not the greatest week for me. I actually did okay against the spread, but my straight up picks were not as great, and it seemed to be a lot of people fell into that. I was looking at like Pete Prisco at CBS, and his picks were like he was like 5-8 last week, and then there was one guy who was 0 for 13 against the spread. So that was pretty bad. I want to go ahead and jump into a quick recap. Let's see, yeah, quick recap of week 7. So first game of the week, Jags in the Saints. So this was in New Orleans, and I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to go back to this format here. It makes it a little easier to read. Yeah, much easier to read. Anyway, Jags and Saints. I did pick the Jags to win this game. They were the underdog, and then I missed on the Buccaneers game. Missed on the Raiders game. I got the Browns correct here. I got the Ravens correct. That was obviously a huge blowout there. I did pick the Patriots. I got the Patriots against the spread. I did say they'd keep it within 8.5. I didn't know they'd beat the Bills. I picked the Bills to win straight up. So I missed the straight up pick, but I did get the points right there. I did pick the Giants over the Commanders as the underdog, so I did get that one right. Had the Seahawks here. I missed on the Rams game, but I did pick the Steelers to cover the points, so I did get that one. I picked the Chiefs to win, but I picked the Chargers to cover the points, so I missed on that. I picked the Broncos to win straight up, and they did. They beat the Packers by 2. This was a big miss here. I picked the Dolphins to win. I thought they would really come out, and I thought their offense would give the Philadelphia Eagles their defensive problems. Turned out the Eagles really dominated this game. And the Dolphins really don't, I mean, they only scored 10 offensive points. So a lot of things that Miami needs to figure out going forward. And then this game here, I did pick the Vikings to cover. I bet the Niners to win. The Vikings won outright. So a lot of upsets. I mean, except for the Cardinals, all of the 1-5 teams won this week. And I saw several of those win. I picked several of them to win. So overall, I went 7-6 straight up, and I went 9-4 against the spread. Now, when it comes to my preseason picks, I did miss this game here. I did pick the Chargers to beat the Chiefs preseason. I picked the Broncos to lose there. I picked the Raiders to lose to the Bears, so I did get that right. This is almost exactly opposite. So I'm going to go back through here, and yeah, this was just not a... I did pick the Eagles to win this game. Let's go ahead and fill a few of these things in here. Got that right. They beat the Commanders. I had the Lions losing to the Ravens. I had the Vikings beating the 49ers here. See, I should have looked at my preseason picks. I had the Bucks beating the Falcons. That did not happen. I had the Saints beating the Jags. That did not happen. So this was really a bad week. Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Yeah, so these are both green. I did get the Rams losing to the Steelers right there. Cardinals lost to the Seahawks. Let's see. Let's do. That's there. Ravens won. Colts did not win. Man. My preseason picks were just as bad. So let's see. 1, 2, 3 out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeesh. This was definitely a bad week for my preseason. 3 and 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 3, 5 and 3, 6 and 3, 6 and 4, 7 and 4, 8 and 4, 9 and 4, 10 and 4. So 10 and 4 down below. Wait, is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I went 10 and 6 or 7 and 6 overall. So, yeah, not the greatest week preseason. So again, 7 and 6, but I was also 7 and 6 here as well, even though the picks changed a little bit. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the picks. So that's going to be just a quick recap. So I'm not going to make a separate video just to go over to do the recap of week 7. Just want to look ahead to week number 8 and then kind of talk about what's to come after this. So, first game of the week. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Buffalo Bills. So, Tampa Bay has been struggling on offense lately. They Baker Mayfield was started the season off really strong, but has really struggled down the stretch here the last couple of games. How they lost to the Falcons last week, I'm not sure, because Desmond Ridder turned the ball over 3 times at the goal line. And when you give up that many potential points to a team and you still can't come back and win, you know, that's an indictment on you. And I know that Baker Mayfield has kind of found a new home playing for the Buccaneers. I just don't see him being a long-term solution. I think Tampa Bay is going to have to find a different quarterback long-term. And when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, you know, and one thing I don't have on here is I don't have the lines. Oh, shoot. 1 second here. I'm going to have to... Sorry, I had to interrupt my thought straight up here. Okay. Okay, so Buffalo right now is negative 8.5. Hold on, I want to... Okay. That way I can see what the money line is so I know who to take here. No, wait a second. I want to do this plus 8.5. That's right. I don't care about the money line. Okay, so let's get back to the Buffalo Bills. Sorry about that little delay there. So Buffalo has had a really hard time struggling, or they've had a really hard time scoring over the past 2 or 3 games in the first half. And really, when you look at it, what they've done, especially they've shown the ability to score late. Josh Allen's still an incredibly talented quarterback, but the problem that the Bills are facing is that they're still turning the ball over too frequently early in the game, and they're allowing teams like the Patriots last week to get leads on them, and they have to expend all their energy coming back. Now the Bills did come back and take the lead with about 1:40 to go. Or 1.5 minutes to go, but again, that was enough time for Mac Jones. Good grief, for Mac Jones to drive down the length of the field and get a game-winning touchdown. They were down 3. They only had to kick a field goal to go to overtime, but Bill Belichick and the Patriots were not satisfied, obviously, with that. And I was watching the game and I kept thinking to myself, please don't sit on the ball, because it seems like a lot of teams are less aggressive when they're down 3 versus when they're down 4. So congratulations to the Patriots there. But the Bills, they really need to figure something out here. Now, here in Buffalo, they are a roller coaster team. And they used to be a roller coaster from game to game with Josh Allen, and now it's a roller coaster between half to half. Tampa Bay is not playing particularly well. I do think Buffalo, though, I do think that they get the win. I'm going to go ahead and give them the win here. But I am going to take the points. The points here with Tampa. And I'm going to make this a little... Sorry. One of these days I'm going to get this figured out here, some kind of format that I like. So I am taking the Bills to win. I'm going to take them. I'm not going to have them cover the 8.5 points. Give me Buffalo. Here, I can tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and do a prediction column. Don't hold me to these predictions here in terms of the scores. Hang on, let me format this as a text. So let's do Buffalo. Let's do 27-23. Let's give them a 4-point win. Okay, so now we've got Los Angeles taking... I'm assuming this is the Rams. Yes, the Rams. The Rams taking on the Cowboys. The Rams are a 6.5-point underdog. So we're going to fill this in real time here. That's a big number, especially for Dallas. Now, the game is in Dallas. Obviously, it's at AT&T Stadium. The Rams had lost at home, recently to the Steelers. Didn't play a particularly great game. I think Dallas coming off a bye here. Dak Prescott's going to get back in the saddle here. The Cowboys, they're 4-2, but they're also 4-2 against the spread. The Rams do, while they sit at 3-4, they're 4-2. 4-2-1. They've pushed one, but their other record is 4-2 against the spread as well. I do like the Cowboys to win this game. The question is that do the Cowboys win it by a touchdown? They have to win by 7 points, and I think they do. Give me the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys in a final score of 31-20. Minnesota at Green Bay. So Minnesota's coming off a tremendous win on Monday Night Football against the San Francisco Giants. Green Bay obviously laid an absolute egg playing Denver. Now, the game was in Denver, but this is a pick'em. But the game it's definitely one that they definitely should not have lost. Denver is a bad team. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to pick this game, but we'll see. I'm not from against the spread, but the Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins was subject to several different trade rumors, and I think he really kind of put a lot of that to bed. And you look at Minnesota's schedule upcoming, and let me see if I can. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. I'll put it on the screen. When you look at their schedule, at Green Bay, at Atlanta, so 2 road games, but 2 very winnable road games. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's going to be the better quarterback in each of those matchups. And, matter of fact, the next 5 games, 6 games, all the way down to the Raiders. Now, 4 of those 6 games are on the road. And how many road games do they have? They have 9 road games. Poor Minnesota. Four of these next 6 are on the road, but none of these teams are that great. Because the Vikings have struggled a bit this year, I do see them probably getting tripped up in one of those games, and then at Cincinnati. So the best they could be is 10-4. I think they're going to be 9-5 when they come out of this stretch. When when Christmas Eve hits, when they play the Lions, I think the Vikings are going to be 9-5, and right in the thick of the NFC North. So definitely something to keep your eyes on with the Vikings. I am going to take the Vikings to win this game over the Packers. I don't know how to pick them because right now the line is at 0. So we'll just keep it like this, and I'm not sure how that's going to work. But let's get a score of let's do 24. Let's do 24-21 by 3 points. Atlanta and Tennessee. So this is a 2.5 points. Atlanta is 2.5 points favorite here in the game against Tennessee. Tennessee is really struggling, obviously, with. Hold on, let me. I want to put the plus there. Tennessee is sitting at 2-4. They're not a good football team. 3-3 against the spread. Atlanta, while sitting at 4-3, is only 2-5 against the spread. So both of these teams do not play well against the spread. But at the end of the day, only wins and losses matter. The funny thing is that the Falcons actually opened as a 1-point underdog, but now the line has moved by all the way to Atlanta's side by 2.5. So it's moved 3.5 total points. Desmond Ridder, again, you want to talk about Josh Allen being a roller coaster. Desmond Ridder is a roller coaster as well. I just don't trust Desmond Ridder when it comes down to it. Now, Tennessee doesn't have a great quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, who honestly probably needs to retire. But Tennessee makes games into rock fights, like I've mentioned multiple times before. And this game being in Tennessee, I see this as one of those type of games where Atlanta, while they're favorited, they're going to come in here and they're going to score like 10 points. So I am going to take Tennessee for the upset here. Let's do a final score 19-13. New Orleans at Indianapolis. The Saints with Derek Carr, just an absolute train wreck of a game, or a train wreck of an organization. Their cap situation is absolutely ridiculous. The line was actually flipped here. It was actually Indianapolis starting at -1. Indianapolis obviously got a lot of attention this week from their owner, who tweeted out that the NFL admitted that they made mistakes. Look, Indianapolis and Gardner Minshew can put up 38 points on the Cleveland Browns defense. I think they can do a lot. And while New Orleans is the favorite here by 1, I think this is an easy pick. This is actually if I did best bets, this would be my best bet. Give me Indianapolis straight up here. Let's do 28-14. New England at Miami. New England is a 9-point favorite. Is a 9-point underdog. Miami is the 9-point favorite. Obviously, Miami coming off a really disappointing loss on Sunday Night Football to the Philadelphia Eagles. They were somewhat competitive in that game, but when you're able to put pressure on Tua Tagovailoa, and he has to hold that ball for 1 extra second, that's when he is at his worst. And with A-Chain obviously being out for an extended period of time, Raheem Mostert is just a journeyman running back. And while he's had a good season, he's had it in conjunction with other running backs. And when you're asking him to be the sole feature running back with no one else there to support him, he's going to struggle. And he'll have a big game here or there because he is talented, but he's not going to be able to hold down the fort. Now, that being said, the Patriots they're just not good on offense. And with Miami's struggles are on defense. So really it's strength going against strength. The Miami offense against the New England defense, they're both units are solid, and then Miami's defense versus the offense of New England, which New England's offense looked a little better recently. all it depends is that what kind of Mac Jones performance are we going to get, and what kind of Bill Parcells game plan are we going to get. Bill Parcells, I'm sorry, Bill Belichick. What kind of Bill Belichick game plan are we going to get? When Mac Jones has to throw the ball more than 20 yards in the air, he is highly inaccurate, and he's very susceptible to interceptions. But he's very accurate, one of the more accurate passers in the league when he keeps it to those quick two-step drops, 2 steps, and fire. Hit the slants, hit the bubble screens. That is where Mac Jones excels. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to pick Miami to win this game, but I am going to pick New England to cover the 9 points. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than Miami wants. I think we're going to go 20. We're going to go 27-24. Miami gets the victory. And we have a battle of New York. So who really is the home team here? So the Giants are actually the home team, but the Jets. So here, let's. This is the Jets. Okay, so the Jets are 3-point favorites. The Giants actually got a win this past week. Not really sure how. I did pick them to win, but again, they're playing the Commanders. The Jets defense is one of the best defenses in the league, and the New York Giants have an absolutely deplorable offense. And while Zach Wilson's not the most dominant quarterback, or he's not even a good quarterback, I think that they're going to be able to do whatever they want here with the Giants. I think this is actually going to be an absolute blowout of a game. I think the Giants, the good thoughts that are feeling after they upset the Commanders, those are all going to come crashing to a halt as the Jets win this game. We're going to go New York 28, Giants 10. Actually, no. You know what? Give me 24-10. Jacksonville going to Pittsburgh. This is a game I'm really interested in watching. Both these Jacksonville's 5-2, and Pittsburgh is 4-2, and both teams are also identical against the spread, 5-2 and 4-2 respectively. The difference here is that Jacksonville's defense has been playing a lot better. Pittsburgh's defense is one of the best in the league. I do think that they can give Trevor Lawrence some problems. The Jacksonville offense it's been good. It's been fine. I'll just say it's been fine. It's been nothing fantastic though. And the one thing about Jacksonville is that they haven't been able to put teams away. And when Matt Canada basically lets Kenny Pickett play and just kind of play within himself and do his own thing, Kenny Pickett is very successful. It's when Matt Canada gets involved. So it's really what kind of offensive game plan are we going to see from the Pittsburgh Steelers here? Jacksonville, again, does not they don't play that well in other people's stadiums. They play much better at home and in London. I am going to take the Steelers to win, to pull the upset here. And I think a fairly low-scoring game. I'm going to go 17-14 with the Pittsburgh defense really dominating this game. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. Philadelphia is a 6.5-point favorite. Oops, negative 6.5. There we go. Philadelphia is a 6.5-point favorite, so it really means they got to win by a touchdown. They played very well against Miami, and Jalen Hurts, while he's somewhat injured here, I think he's still going to be able to do what he can. Now, the thing with Washington is Washington always gives them a tough game, whether it's their style of play. I'm not sure what it is, but Taylor Heineke was the one who was always kind of rallying them around. He's no longer around now. Obviously, they have Sam Howell, and Sam Howell I just don't think is a good quarterback. And I think Washington is highly overrated. I think Eric Bieniemy is going to regret ultimately taking that position, even though I think Ron Rivera gets fired before Bieniemy does. I think Bieniemy might be able to get a head coaching job out of it. But he's got to be able to get more out of these offensive players than he is. I mean, either that or demand to get a better quarterback. Philadelphia, obviously 6-1. Their only loss coming to the Jets. The Eagles and Jalen Hurts, they're playing really well, especially with their wide receiver AJ Brown. 6 straight games over 125 yards. I think that's set an NFL record this past week. He's playing extremely well. Their defense isn't playing as well as it had been. Now, they really did hold Miami in check, but the thing is that Pittsburgh or Philadelphia is a very physical, aggressive defense. And while some teams have been able to take advantage of that, the Dolphins are a finesse team, and they were not able to. They get punched in the mouth and they just fall over. I am going to take the Eagles to win and cover the 6.5-point number. Give me the Eagles 34. Give me the Eagles in a fairly easy game, 34-20 over the Commanders. Actually, 34-27. I think it'll be a 7-point. I think they'll cover barely. I think Washington will make it close there at the end. Houston is a 3-point favorite. Boy, what a season this has been for the Houston Texans. Now they're taking on the worst team in football. Not too much to say here. Houston, while they're on the road, I am going to take Houston to win and cover the 3 points. I don't think it's going to be that big scoring of a game, but give me 23-13 over the Carolina Panthers. Cleveland and their tremendous defense, while it was exposed a little bit last week, no one seems to be talking about that, going across the country to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Cleveland actually is 3.5-point. They are 3.5-point underdogs. Seattle's negative 3.5. Even though Cleveland scored 39 points, and they shouldn't have won that game, Colts should have won. Who knows if we're going to get any changes to replays for penalties down the stretch, but Cleveland really, they should be 3-3 right now instead of 4-2. So they've been a little lucky here. I don't know that much about Seattle, other than I know that their red zone offense is terrible. And because of that, and that reason alone, I am going with Cleveland to pull the upset here on the road, because I think Seattle is just in a funk. And I think Cleveland's offense, it played better. P.J. Brown showed he's not just a one-trick pony. I think that they're going to be able to pull an upset here on the road. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I'm going to say 33-28. Cleveland gets the win on the road at Seattle. Kansas City and Denver. Obviously, the Chiefs beat the Broncos here 2 weeks ago. They beat them in Kansas City 19-8. Probably should have been 19-0 or something else like that. The Chiefs are they're 8-point favorites, which is less than the 10.5-point number that they were in Kansas City. So really, if you think about getting 3 points at home, that's about the same thing here. Denver is actually coming off a decent win at the hand of the, kind of exposing the Packers even more. That being said, Denver has also lost one of their safeties, Jackson, for 2 games. He originally was suspended 4 games for unnecessary roughness penalties. He had that reduced down to 2, and he is going to sit out this week against the Chiefs. I don't think that's going to matter too much. I think the Denver defense is still really, really bad, and it shows you how bad the Packers' offense is, that they couldn't score but more than 17 points on Denver. And I know that the Chiefs only had 19 points against them, but the Chiefs had 420 yards of total offense against the Broncos. Just couldn't convert. It was one of those just random, ridiculous games in the red zone where the Chiefs just couldn't find the end zone except for one time and kicked 4 field goals instead. This is a game I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think Kansas City runs and Wayne hides. I think Denver, like they did last year, when they at Invesco or whatever, in Power Field now instead of Invesco, they made the game a little closer in the second half with Russell Wilson getting some garbage time points. But I am going to take Kansas City to win and cover the 8 points. I think the Chiefs win in a rout. Give me the Chiefs 38-10 over the hapless Broncos. I think it's just going to be an absolute blowout on the road. I think Andy pulls out all the stops here. Baltimore at Arizona. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one. This game, obviously, we all saw what Baltimore did last week to the Detroit Lions. And this week, I don't think it's going to be much different. Arizona is scrappy. That being said, while they're 3-4 against the spread, they're 1-6 overall. Keep bad teams losing. I think Baltimore is really on a good streak here. I think they're going to win this game very easily. I say give me 31-21 over the Cardinals. Cincinnati at San Francisco. Now, this is an interesting game. Cincinnati's coming off a bye, and San Francisco. Wait a second. Huh. Okay, they just played on Monday night. So anyway, I thought somebody said that they were playing on Thursday night, but that's not the case. Yeah, 3:25 on Sunday. Okay. The Bengals are 3.5-point underdogs. Brock Purdy has not looked good over the past couple of games. Has been put in position to win games in the fourth quarter back-to-back weeks and has failed both times. He's actually had 3 drives in 2 games, and he's really looked poor, throwing interceptions on 2 of those 3 drives and almost on all 3 of them. That being said, the 49ers have the best roster here. The Bengals, while they have started to somewhat turn it around, they are 3-3 right now after starting out 0-2. I do think the 49ers are the much superior team, and I think they're going to come back here. I think you're going to see Kyle Shanahan put a game plan together for Brock Purdy to allow him to succeed and to maybe quiet some of the noise that a lot of the sports ditto talking head folks are talking about regarding Brock Purdy. So I am going to go ahead and pick the 49ers to win and cover the 3.5-point number. Give me the 30-24 over the Bengals. And on Sunday Night Football, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Bears, 8.5-point underdogs, taking on the Chargers, who really coming off a really terrible, they just got beaten down by the Chiefs. 14-point loss to Kansas City. There's never a home field advantage for a Los Angeles team at SoFi Stadium. There's just not. I mean, it doesn't even matter Chicago, who doesn't really have, I guess, even traveling fans anymore. They'll have more fans there than Charger fans. That being said, Chicago, I think, playing a Division II quarterback as your starting quarterback, I think they got a little bit of push from him, especially at home against a really bad team in the Raiders. But they're going to go up against a much better team in the Chargers here. Chargers playing for their lives. They're 2-4. They have to win this game to stay even relevant. If they fall to 2-5, their season is done. They're not going to make the playoffs. Probably not going to make the playoffs as it is, but if they want to make the playoffs, I know it's an NFC game, so there's no tiebreaker situations here, but you got to win games against bad teams. I am going to take the Chargers to win this game, but I am going to take the Bears to cover this game. Give me the Chargers 28-21. They don't cover the 8.5. And then on Monday Night Football, we have the Raiders taking on the Lions in Detroit at Ford Field. Another big number here. 8-point favorites are the Detroit Lions. I think Detroit gets back on the winning track here. I'm not going to analyze this too much. The Raiders are just a bad football team. I think the Lions come back out with a vengeance, kind of like how the Ravens came out against them. And I think they're going to put a big number on them. I'm actually going to get a 40 burger out of the way here. 40 burger going. 40 burger, 42-21. 21-point win here for the Lions over the hapless Raiders. Raiders get some garbage time touchdowns to make it look a little closer. So there are my picks for the week. I've got my straight up picks: Buffalo, Dallas, Minnesota, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Miami, the Jets, Steelers, Eagles, Texans, Browns, Chiefs, Ravens, 49ers, Chargers, and the Lions. And of course, there's a couple games where we've picked the spread instead of picking straight across. So we'll see how things come across. Now, I'm only putting the prediction here just to kind of help me in my gauge my mind. We're not going to see how good I am. I mean, if I hit a couple of these, big whoop-de-doo, you know, and that's not the intention here. So anyway, we'll see how we do. Hopefully, the Chiefs can keep rolling here and move to 7-1. It's going to be should be another interesting week of NFL football again. But we've got some big numbers here. We got an 8.5. We got a 9. We got an 8, 8.5, 8.5, and 8. So we got a lot of games that are some really big spreads here. The game, like I said, that I'm really interested in seeing. I do want to see this Green Bay Minnesota game. And what was the other one I said? I wanted to, the Jacksonville-Pittsburgh game. So Jacksonville-Pittsburgh and Minnesota-Green Bay, those two games I'm really going to keep a close eye on. I do think Pittsburgh is going to pull the upside off of Jacksonville here and maybe knock the Jags down a few pedestals as Pittsburgh looks to build some wins up and possibly ratchet up the playoff seedings in the AFC. I think they're a much better team than people are giving them credit for. And like I said earlier, if Matt Canada can just get out of the way, they're going to be better for it in the long run. So anyway, those are my picks. Again, doesn't matter how long I try to do this, I'll still make these videos about 36 minutes long. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I will be back. Let's see. I think we'll just keep doing one video a week. We'll just do a quick recap and then we'll do the pick segment. Somebody asked me if I was going to do a power rankings, and I was like, everybody does power rankings. I don't need to do power rankings. So, but maybe we'll fool around with that later on if there's enough people that ask for it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel for more NFL content, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day.